You're back as Jane Foster. What made you want to do another Thor film?
Well, it's always so fun to get to reunite with people you've worked with before when you like them, when you all had a good time together. So this was so nice to get to be with everyone again after 2 years and get to re-enter the fun world because it's really just a fun movie.
Mm. In the first film, Jane was kind of anchored on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
This time we get to see her coming off planet to the Nine Realms,
Fish
the
out of
Asgardian
water.
world. Yeah, talk about acting through that.
Well, it was really it was a little bit scary at first to have Jane be going to Asgard because I just was like, oh God, I'm gonna stand out. It's gonna be so awkward to have all of these, Amazonian, beautiful, like big actors around and talking in Shakespeare, like faux Shakespearean verse, and then there's like little me there, with my Valley Girl accent, talking. But it was really fun to get to be in it too, because for the first time I got to interact with Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki, and Anthony Hopkins, who plays Odin, two actors I adore, and Rene Russo, who I love, and so I got to have scenes with them, which was really exciting, and also get to see all the sets, and which I had missed before, which are just astonishing.
Before those adventures, I think we meet you on a date.
Yes.
At the beginning of the film. Just talk about filming that scene. Different kind of scene to what you'd expect from a Thor movie.
Absolutely, it was really fun, and Chris O'Dowd, who plays Richard, the gentleman I'm on a date with, at the start of the film, is so funny and so good, and so she's trying to move on after Thor, and of course it's impossible to explain you know how that ended, because you can't say, oh yeah, he's from another universe and he's back on his planet or whatever. No one will understand that story.
How important is it to have those kind of humorous beats in these big action films?
Well, I think it's what sets the Marvel movies apart, is that they have these really light comic book moments that really remind you of the genre and make it just fun, that it's not supposed to be some crazy dark. There's the real action parts, and there are sort of heavier moments, but in the end it's real comic book entertainment.
You've started to tour the film around the world. You've started to see the fans' reaction as well.
Yeah.
When people start talking to you about it, you get an idea of how it's gone. Just talk about your reaction.
Well, it's been so exciting because, you have no idea when you're shooting these movies what they're going to turn out like, because there's so many effects, there's so many people involved, the scope is so large, like it's kind of impossible to feel what the movie's going to be like. And then so to see it come to fruition and have everyone's been so enthusiastic and telling me how much fun they had watching it, how funny it is, and surprisingly funny, and that it's a really great feeling to be part of something like that.
Yeah. And of course you go from filming it, which is a different world with green screens and different sets, to seeing the final product. Final product. It must have blown you away a little bit to see it all appear on the screen.
Yeah, it's really it's so beautiful when you see the final product. And I mean, the ability, I have such new respect for the director and for all of the visual effects people. I mean, to be able to have that in your head when we saw what we saw is just really, really such a talent.
That said, there are a lot of physical sets built for this
Yes.
film. You were down in Shepperton Studios, I believe.
Yes.
Did that help?
Yeah, no, it's really helpful to have real sets, and those sets are so beautiful and grand that they really have this kind of awe-inspiring effect, and it ends up being sort of a lot of the details and the views of, like, through the window when you see these sort of deep views of the city, and those, and like the funeral scene, like those are things that were almost completely CGI. So So yeah, it's amazing. It's sort of like seeing pictures of yourself on a vacation you've never been on, like you're like, oh, I was there, but I never was there until I just looked at it on screen.
Yeah. Finally, when you get to go to Asgard, I mean, we've seen you in space costume before, but it's another, alien get-up you have to put on, and the character looks, like you said, a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Is that still fun for you? Do you enjoy that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, it's just, I think it's rare in film these days to get that level of artisanship. I mean, the fabrics are made expressly for the movie. I mean, they design them and manufacture the fabrics particularly for this, and they're like super beautiful, silks, and then all of the jewelry and armor is handmade by people in the studio. There's like a whole workshop. It's like old Hollywood that we weren't lucky enough to live through. You can experience a little bit of in these movies.